shortcut. Whose team is pouring their blood, sweat, and tears into their work. Is this really the time for us to be out here hunting bugs?
Bon.
A stag beetle!
We aren't looking for those. We want wild silk moths, remember? Those are the original source of silk.
Since we're going out to sea, we're gonna be working in the water a lot. I want swimsuits!
So this is a silk swimsuit. It feels so nice and soft on my skin.
Yeah, feels that good, huh, on the skin? Can I try touching it, for science?
There it is, again.
With the limited tech available, I guess Kohaku...
To think this beauty only took a year. We finished quicker than I expected. You need some new material, because I've heard you say that before.
I'm glad Wyman was kind enough to leave us alone.
Who knows? Maybe he's waiting for us to make the first move.
That'd be perfect, because we're about to go and look for him. We'll scour the world with our new sailboat.
Yeah. It's almost time to set sail for those going. All right, everyone, gather round for a photo now that the ship's done. I want everyone in the shot with the boat in the background.
Just how many pictures does one reporter need? You've already got a ton.
But a lot of us are parting ways. Some are shipping out and some staying behind. This past year may have been the last one we all got to spend together. We may never see each other again. So at least let me take a picture.
Of course. Minami was in charge of selecting who was revived. She probably knows every single person here by name.
Come on, the hell are you talking about? That wasn't our last year. We're 10 billion% solving the mystery of the petrification. And we're 10 billion% making it back from the other side of the world.
Okay, fine, but I still want a picture, so everyone get in the frame. Although I guess it won't be everyone since I have to take the darn thing.
I suspected this might happen. So I commissioned an automatic camera timer for such an occasion.
That's what you had me make that doohickey for! I wondered what it was!
I'm starting to think Francois can see the future.
Wow, the old bamboo tube fountain trick. You couldn't get a more primitive timer if you tried.
Who cares? It's gonna work!
Shove it!
Here we go. Everyone smile.
I've never been so happy! We busted our butts putting this thing together, but it's finally done! In all my years as a craftsman, this is by far the biggest project I've seen to completion, and dare I say, my finest work!
The science vessel Perseus. That name is just so powerful.
Perseus was a hero from Greek mythology, if I'm not mistaken. He defeated Medusa, who could turn people into stone.
Well, damn. Then not only is the name cool, it's fitting. Considering we're about to set sail, find whoever turns humanity to stone and capture them. Petrification beam and all. That's why we spent an entire year building this puppy. It's time for action!
That's right. We had a whole year to prepare for this moment, so I hope everyone's ready for what's next. Today's the long-awaited day when the Kingdom of Science splits into two teams. The World Exploration Team, that'll search for the truth, and the Humanity Development Team, that'll stay behind. Ha-ha! As captain of this vessel, I prepared a list of my desired crewmates, though I'd take each and every one of you with me if I could. Great idea, except then all of humanity would go extinct if the ship sank.
That is true.
And isn't there a maximum capacity?
Needless to say, this is an unprecedented and extremely dangerous mission. We may never return, and I can't guarantee your lives. So even if I call your name, you're free to stay behind if you like. That is a choice each of you has to make.
Come on. I feel insulted hearing that.
Okay, so I just have to not be on the list. No problem.
Yeah, that was a real noble speech you gave, but enough with the BS. Just tell us who you need, and if they don't want to come, we'll find some way to trick them into getting on board. Once on the ship, they're 10 billion% stuck with us, whether they like it or not.
Ah, yes, my specialty. Just leave the dirty work to me. Not that I plan to go, but I do love a ruse.
Huh. You could get. There's no doubt in my mind. In fact, you could convince every person here. But if we're stuck out there with a crewmate who's less than willing, them getting themselves killed is one thing, but endangering the whole ship is another. Or am I wrong? As I read these names, only those who are truly prepared to go should step foot on our science vessel Perseus. First up, we need our engineers to keep the ship running. Senku, Kaseki, and Chrome.
What the heck? How is Senku already on board?
Couldn't he, I don't know, care a bit more? Or, like, pretend to be emotional?
That's just how he is. Yuzuriha,
Wow, really? I count as an engineer?
for the sails. On radar and sonar, Ukyo. Our cook, Francois. Next up, any true voyage via sailboat will take a metric ton of brute force. The power team!
Guys, he didn't call your names yet.
You know, I could just stay behind and take over the village.
Oh, yeah! You would have no competition, but you've never been one to settle for small goals when a greater opportunity is presented.
Be quicker to say who's not coming. Anyone written down we don't think will jump at the chance? Kinro!
Very well, then.
How in character. Unlike half of the other people up there, Kimura waited to hear his name.
The rules are the rules.
I mean, this is great. If he was gonna call me, he'd have done it with Kinro, so I'm safe. It's probably because he's so strong. Meanwhile, I'm so, whatever it is you'd call me.
And Kinro!
No way! Sailing across the planet is a death sentence! I'm not getting on board! Never!
Kinro, I don't know why you're freaking out so much. No one's forcing you to come along. Didn't you hear me? I want willing crew members. If you're unsure, stay. The development team has important work to do, too.
I think I'll stay behind too, then.
I know the ship needs the power team, and our best fighters are a part of it. That worries me. Yoga and Homura are still in jail. With all of the kingdom's mightiest warriors far from home, if those two were to break out of their cells somehow, they'd take over all of Japan.
Seriously? They're coming with us?
So we have a moving prison, big whoop. As long as they're supervised, it's fine.
And everyone on board's okay with this?
Doubt it, but there's no choice. They're simply too strong to risk leaving behind with the others.
Bringing them is dicey for sure, but there may come a time when we need to play every last card in our hand to survive. If worst comes to worst.
Well, I suppose that's everyone that Ryusui wrote down. Let's give our friends a nice send-off.
Don't be ridiculous. The last one on my list is you, Gen.
Seriously, Say? Surely you don't need me. You must have misspoken. I've got the strength of a house cat at best.
There's no telling what kind of enemy we'll run into out there. And I don't want to end up in a situation where your skills could have saved our lives.
Fine. I suppose if Y-Man does choose to attack, he could just as easily pick Japan as his target. And with that in mind, I might be safer siding with the Kingdom of Science. I must admit, it's worked for me so far. Not that I care who comes out on top, as long as I stand to profit.
Senku, I think I finally figured out our mentalist friend. That wicked facade he puts on is just his way of saving face. But it's still a pain in the neck.
Ha-ha! Set sail! To uncharted waters! To the mysteries of our stone world! And beyond!
You can do it!
You all better come back, you hear me?
Okay, we're gonna take down the mastermind behind everything and steal the beam tech while we're at it.
Oh man, and that'll make us heroes, right? I'm glad I came!
It's hard to believe they're really gone.
It's weird to think that not everyone Ryusui wanted came.
It was inevitable. They knew how dangerous this would be.
Kinro, that worm. It's no surprise. That's the kind of man he is. Always has been.
What the?
Kinro just dove in!
Wait for me! Kinro! Senku! Ryusui!
He's not gonna
No
make
matter
it.
how risky this journey may be, I still want to fight for all of us, for the sake of the entire world!
out of the water, so I'm sure. At this distance, the waves are covering up my voice. Not even
Not
Ukko
gonna
can
make
hear
it.
me. Damn it. I couldn't catch up, even though I really, really wanted to.
I adore your courage and manly muscles. Unlike those scaredy cats who chose to stay behind, you're a hero.
Obviously, I never want to go on a dangerous mission if I can help it. But I also want people to think I'm brave. I'll get my cake and eat it too!
Hey, Ukyo, will you do me a favor and keep the radar pointed towards land?
Huh? Why?
Just a hunch.
Senku, you're not doing that because... No, of course not.
Something's approaching from the shore. Is it the big bad Y-Man?
Why the heck would it be? He just said it's coming from back the way we came.
I think someone's chasing us to get on the ship.
It can't be.
Gotta admit, you deserve some props, Ginro.
Damn right.
Huh, I misjudged you.
Yeah, me too. I always had you pegged as a pathetic, scary cat slime ball.
I never saw this coming in a billion years. Uli Trey.
I believed in you, Giro.
You know, me just couldn't get enough of that science. Now I'm scientifically screwed.
Hey, now you won't be missing him the whole time, Kinro.
I never said I missed him.
So, what's our course? Is it non-stop straight to the other side of the world?
Nope. Our first destination is the Treasure Island.
An island?
Where is it?
And what for?
Why, for the god-tier item that'll help us rescue all of humanity, of course. It's on the islands my dad and his team washed up on. We're headed to the place where the astronauts who avoided the petrification lived out their lives, and where the spaceship Soyuz sleeps. The place where the 100 Tales began.
Next episode.
Come on, you're jumping to conclusions and upsetting yourself again. Relax.
Very well, then. But I hope you're prepared for this.
Prepared.
The 100 Tales begin with Story 1.
Those two have been talking all night. I don't think they took a break, so I wonder how far along they are. Probably nearing the end. Sounds like a story about poisonous wildlife. It's amazing to think how these tales helped the village survive, and it wouldn't have happened without
No
Senku's
bun.
father. Talk about a legacy.
Hang on. I need
The
a
next
break.
of the 100 Tales is number 8.
Still on single digits!
Now I know why you asked if I was prepared. Maybe you got pneumonia from tiring yourself out reciting all this stuff.
Yeah, it's not an easy job. That's why the priestess devotes her entire life to it.
I want to hear any of...
The population of the Kingdom of Science at the moment?
The
Tsukasa
bomb.
Empire had just over 100, I think. And about 40 of us are originally from Ishigami Village.
Okay, then. If we crunch those numbers, we
About
get...
150.
Ding ding! Bingo! As I once told Senku, it'd be Ely Ray Adbay if we had more than that. We'd fall apart.
That's some pragmatic thinking, I have to admit. That's our mentalist.
Your praise is appreciated, though it doesn't change the facts, unfortunately. If we'd been making revival fluid, we'd have a very limited number of people we could bring back. The populace would disagree on who was the right pick. Our kingdom would crumble as differing factions formed a fight. It'd basically be Tsukasa versus Hyoga all over again.
So we held off. But once we find that platinum, there won't be any kind of limit on the number of people we can revive. We'll get to save all of humanity from petrification.
Platinum. Also called Haki no Shirogane. A sand that sparkles like the moon.
Number.
Sleeping within the treasure box.
Okay, but where on the island is this treasure box?
And even if Senku's dad did set aside those stones for us, how could they have survived on a deserted island for thousands of years?
Oh, that? The answer's obvious. They're sleeping inside one of the most advanced machines known to man. Built to withstand the heat of re-entering Earth's atmosphere. It might as well be the toughest treasure box in existence.
Oh! If I follow you, that means it's...
The Soyuz spaceship.
So in other words, if we can find that spaceship and the treasure box inside, we'll have all we need to save humanity!
Uh-huh. That's exactly what I just said, so thanks for listening.
Don't get too excited. We don't know where it is.
We certainly have a good number of people to help with the search,
But
though.
after a few thousand years, who knows what kind of condition the island's in? Guess we'll just have to see it for ourselves.
This is awesome! Treasure hunting on a treasure island? I am so in!
All right. Hey, Senku, are you free at the moment?
Yeah?
This gentleman from the power team is here. He says he overheard us before and has some valuable information he'd like to share.
It can't be. Wait, who are you? Seriously, I can't remember your name at all.
Of course you can't remember it. He doesn't have a name.
I was wondering about that when making the crew manifest. I wrote no name as a placeholder.
That's fine. Call me whatever you want to. So, what I wanted to tell you is I'm not from Ishigami Village.
Wait, what? What does that mean? Where'd you come from?
Back when I was a baby, I just washed up on the shore one day. By a stroke of luck, a villager found and took pity on me. She adopted me and claimed I was her own. My real name would have been out of place in Ishigami Village, so I've lived without one. My name is actually Soyuz.
Wait, is it the Soyuz? The spaceship treasure box that's the whole reason we're headed to this island?
Yeah, and maybe I can take you there. To my home. And to the spaceship with the treasure inside.
Well, I'm glad we took the time to hear you out. I don't know whether it's good or bad, but I do know this new information you've given us is 10 billion% the truth. The treasure island isn't deserted.
You mean there are more survivors out there besides us? And they're on the very island we're heading to now?
Yeah. Thanks to this dude's surprising revelation, plus his very existence, we can be sure of it.
This would have been easier if it were uninhabited. Would have made for a smoother search.
It's quite unlucky, though fortune doesn't usually favor Senku.
Then they're technically distant relatives of the people of Ishigami Village, correct?
It's just a theory, but I'm pretty much 10 billion% sure.
When all of humanity... Senku's father and a few other astronauts were in space. They happened to avoid the disaster by pure chance. And their descendants became the inhabitants of Treasure Island. Within the 100 Tales is a wish the founder's will passed down. They wanted us to reach Japan someday.
Welcoming our mentalist will handle it.
What would you guys do without me?
We can just wipe them out if they start giving us any trouble. We got enough fighters to do it.
I keep telling you, you can't go around attacking people you disagree with, okay?
Maybe Taiju should accompany Magma at all times for the sake of diplomacy.
I just had a scary thought. Is it possible Wyman is from this island? It makes sense, considering the overall scarcity of humans out there.
Why did you keep such important information from us for all this time? Why wouldn't you just tell us you weren't really one of us? You had years to do it. No. I'm sorry. We're grateful that you confessed it all.
Could they have sent that signal, though? Forget the know-how. Would that small island have the resources for it?
Ha ha! If they had access to that kind of tech, they wouldn't have stayed in such an isolated place. They'd want to see what exists beyond the horizon. They'd want to see every part of the world, learn everything about it. That desire is something humanity can't possibly resist.
I've always wanted to know, too. If I'm not not one of the other villagers. Who am I? I'd set out to sea with only hazy memories to guide me, but storms would push me back. But even if I found out, what's the point? It won't mean anything now. And yet, deep down, I still just want to know.
Yeah, that thirst for knowledge is powerful. It's the driving force behind science.
Look at that. Well, I guess you've always been a member of the Kingdom of Science. Eh, Soyuz buddy?
Back then, I couldn't find the island no matter how much I rowed. But now, with this ship of science, we can.
Smooth sailing so far. How many more days do we think it'll be until we get there?
Should only take us a few more hours.
That soon?
This journey was brutal for our ancestors, but we're not even breaking a sweat.
Perseus, you're so bad.
It's all because of the hard work Senku and the science team put in.
That's for sure. They really made a behemoth, didn't they? I kind of like to see how it's all put together. Careful, Yuzuriha. Show too much interest in their little pet project, and the boys will jump at the chance to gush.
If you're anything like me, you don't want to hear it.
Excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear. Did you express interest in a boat tour?
Well, if you're that insistent about
There's
it.
so much science stuffed in
That's
here, it's gonna blow your
delightful.
mind.
You gotta know who you're dealing with. These kinds of people are always dying to show their creations to anyone interest.
Now you're their captive audience until they're done.
That's no problem. I once sat through a 5-hour rocket lecture Senku sprung on us. This is nothing new.
The power of a tried-and-true veteran!
Ha ha! Let's start the tour. We'll show you every inch of the science vessel, Perseus.
Wow, these stairs are so steep.
When you're descending them, you should always grab the handrail from below. Otherwise, you'll fall when the ship rocks forward. Seafaring pro tip.
There's so many curved pieces to the ship.
Woohoo! We love that you're a straight shooter, Kinro, but if the wood on this boat were as stiff as you, we'd be in trouble. The curves help it bend instead of break.
Are those the new eyes of science?
Whoa! This is the perfect spot for fishing.
All the ship windows are made big enough for a person to fit through, in case of an emergency.
What? Can we really fit through this tiny circle?
Well, maybe you and your muscles would have a difficult time.
Whoa! There's a whole lab in here!
Yep. It's the lifeblood of the kingdom, after all. Plus, it's on wheels, so we can roll it out wherever we make landfall if the need arises.
Never knew what it was like to get seasick. I think I'm gonna throw.
Oh, pull it together. You're pathetic. You're not making the people of the water look very good here, Ginro.
I can't blame them. It's their first time on the open seas.
Whoops! Guess I forgot to whip up a seasickness cure in advance. Well, it's no problem. That's what the lab's for. Let's see, what was it? Some scopolamine? Yeah, that ought to dull the autonomic nerves and get them back on their feet. The Devil's Trumpet. Datura metal.
Oh, so is that some kind of medicine-making flower?
Nope. It's as poisonous as it gets. Just separate the water-soluble components from the oil-soluble ones, and boom, we've extracted ourselves some medicine. Even a tiny dose works wonders. But mess with the stuff and it'll legit kill you. So don't touch it, okay?
I feel great!
Like I could take on the world!
Go lie down. On second thought, if you've got energy to spare, then get to work.
The lab can double as a sick bay. Not bad for the stone world.
I'll bet a ship like this could make it through the craziest storm without that much trouble.
A storm, eh? You really think us people of the water are scared of that?
That medicine worked wonders. Looks like Ginro's back.
Keep tempting fate, and we actually will get hit by a storm.
Like a person wronged, the sea can be fickle. The weather can change at the drop of a hat.
I've never seen such a drastic shift before!
At least on land, there were trees and hills to block some of it.
Ryusui, is something wrong?
This storm's bad news, huh?
I see you've made a green tea latte with goat milk, Francois. Nice presentation.
How are you calm?
I've weathered countless storms in my time on the open seas. As long as I'm steering the ship, this is nowhere near dying. No need to freak.
He's freaking alright!
I'm fine, but everyone's gotta listen. We're not in trouble, but it's still all hands on deck.
A bun for
This is
die.
a big opportunity. Since we don't know if the island's inhabitants are friends or foes, we'll use this storm to sneak up on them. And if all goes well, we can do a little spying with our new eyes of science before making contact.
All crew, to your stations!
I could never forget. This is it, no doubt. This is my home. The island where I was born.
We're finally about to see it, Byakuya. Your treasure island. And no matter what ordeals await us there, that's reason enough to get excited.
Next episode. What is this show now? Bond.
What is this place? Huh? Welcome to another world? Huh? Another world? What's that supposed to mean?
Congratulations! I'm thrilled to welcome you, my lord. Through a process of completely random selection, you were chosen to be reincarnated into another world. You may have noticed that you have no memory of your previous existence, but rest assured the old you agreed to this of his own free will, so everything's fine.
Reincarnated? You're joking! Crap! She's right. I can't remember. Who was I before now? Whoever I was, how can I let something this stupid happen to me?
Your new home is a fantasy world full of clashing blades and mages flinging magic. And I'm glad to report that the skills you chose prior to your awakening have already been granted to you. For further details, please have a look at the status screen.
Whoa. I picked a supporting type, huh? And I get a big stat boost when I level up. Judging by this, I must have been a hardcore gamer in my past life. You know, I was scared, but now I'm pretty excited. I take it back, old me. I was too hard on you.
Oh.
So, I'm a summoner. Hell yeah.
Now then, why not start off your journey on the right foot by traveling to a nearby town? Once you've arrived, you should be able to find a guild where you can register as an adventurer.
Right. There's no point standing around here. I'm off. Time to check out the town.
And away we go!
You kind of seem like an actual person. So, tell me, are you gonna come along too?
I suppose you don't remember me. Here, take a look at this. I have to say, before you, no one else has ever asked the goddess of reincarnation to become their follower. It took me aback at first, but I kind of liked it.
What the heck, previous me? Were you out of your mind?
And since you mentioned it, the reason we can talk is because summoners are able to communicate with their servants.
Here's what I know. I died in some kind of accident. From what I've gathered, it was because some god other than Melfina made a stupid mistake. So that god went to Melfina and asked if she would reincarnate me, since that's kind of her whole thing. Apparently, I professed my love on the spot. Well, that's what she says anyway. But all I know about her now is what her voice sounds like.
As soon as you finish choosing your skills, you asked me to make a contract. I'm in love with you. Come with me. Oh, you spent a whole hour shouting sweet things like that. I've been at my job for a few centuries now, and between the two of us, it was getting a little tiresome. So as soon as you offered, of course I agreed. I thought of it as a little vacation. Even gods need a break. Now, before you go worrying, I've left my employees in charge, so everything will be fine. Would you believe me if I said I haven't taken time off in decades? It's time for some well-deserved rest.
Stop treating my reincarnation like some kind of party. And give me my memories back.
Actually, you were the one who said you wanted to forget everything about your previous life. You said you needed more skill points, so you surrendered your past in exchange. Nobody forced you to.
Why would I say that to someone I was in love with? And besides, without my memories, how can I still feel that way about you?
I recall you saying, I don't need to remember because I'll fall in love with you all over again. You sounded so passionate and sincere that I simply couldn't argue with you. Hubba hubba! Congratulations, my affection has increased.
Why do I feel like you're teasing me? It's not fair. I'm getting embarrassed about something I don't even remember doing.
Another scan.
That was intense. But if what she says is true, then she must have been my type at some point at least. Makes me curious. Now I really want to find out what Melvina looks like. So you and I made a contract, right? Does that mean I can summon you whenever I want?
I'm afraid you'll have to wait. The amount of NP you'll need for that is far beyond your current stats. Till then, I look forward to seeing you grow and hearing more of your love confessions.
I don't know about that last part.
We're almost at the guild, my lord. It's just ahead on the right.
I figured it'd be impressive. This, kind of imposing, honestly. I wonder if the inside is as sweet as the exterior.
What brings you in here today? These documents.
I'd like to issue a request for a job.
Nice to see you again. Great work finishing your latest quest. Here you are. The
Come on,
reward for your
Bond.
courageous efforts. Next in line. Hello, good sir. I'm here to assist you with anything you need today.
I'd like to sign up to be an adventurer.
So registration then? I can help you with that. Let's see here. These are all the forms that you're required to fill out. Do you need someone to write for you?
I'm fine, thanks. When I was reincarnated, I was given the skills understand language and literacy.
Wait a moment. Under your class listing, you wrote summoner. Are you sure that's what you intended?
Is that bad or something?
Summoner is an ultra rare job, and in this world, typically there's only one per nation. If anyone finds out what your class is, you might draw some unwanted attention. I know for a fact that the nation's rulers would quickly take an interest in you.
Understood. I want to avoid that. Okay. I'll just say that my class is Green Mage instead.
Thank you very much.
You got any jobs that are good for beginners?
Oh, certainly. Here's a few to
The
choose
Bond.
from.
So, looks like I can either defeat 3 blue slimes, or go harvest some herbs, and a special request to help find a missing cat. Huh.
If you ask me, I think your best option would be to fight the slimes. Why not form a contract with one as well? A slime would make an ideal monster for your first summoning.
You and I were thinking the same thing. I can't wait to give my ability a test run. Someplace where no one's around, of course. I've decided to take the slime quest. It ought to be a piece of cake.
Excellent choice. Consider it yours.
One more thing.
Thanks for your business.
So, you settled on a wooden rod. It barely raises your physical attack stats, but it does have a small amount of magic, making your spells more powerful.
I had to use most of my money, but I can't fight those slimes without a weapon. Time to go and earn more so we can stay at an inn tonight. Well, this is kind of weird. Might be because I took the road to North, or maybe I'm just unlucky. For some reason, I haven't seen any monsters.
You found some blue slimes. Use appraising eye and find out what you're up against, my lord.
I see. So this is appraising eye, huh? Looks like it reveals data about my target's stats.
At the moment, your appraising eye is rank S, which means you can assess creatures up to 100 levels above you, as well as any items that are ranked S.
Sounds like that encompasses just about everything. Hold on. When you showed me your stats earlier, all I saw was a bunch of question marks. Are you past level 100?
I am a goddess. What did you expect?
And modest, too. So, how much MP do I need to summon you? Sounds like it's going to take me forever to earn enough. No, I'm getting off topic. I need to figure out how to deal with these blue slimes. Okay. First thing is making that summoner contract work. How do I do that?
Well, you're going to need your target's consent, and then the rest will be entirely up to you.
Get my target's consent, huh? So I have to talk the slime into being on my side?
Well, for monster types that don't understand speech, the best strategy is to attack and weaken them. But don't kill them, obviously. When their HP is low enough, use the contract and they should consent. Think of it as a friendly invitation to join your party.
You kinda sound like a tutorial in a video game. A magic spell would probably kill it. Better use a physical attack.
Are you alright? That looked painful.
That was a bit careless. What's going on? Slime's gotta be the weakest
The bond.
monsters. So why am I getting my butt kicked by one?
If that thing had a mouth, I bet it would say, "Hey, what's up, brah? You wanna go? Quit picking fights you can't win."
You're not helping. This thing's strong. I'll use magic. Wait, no. If I kill it, I can't use the contract. Now I see. Turns out it's not as fast as I thought. Just agile, which explains how it's able to keep dodging my attacks. But if I move faster, I can land a hit. Dodge this! KO. It's got 3 HP left. Not bad. Time for that contract.
First, you'll need to extend your hand.
It feels like something is being taken out of me. Are you sure this is safe?
It's probably all the magic you're having to use. Summoning contracts consumes half of your remaining MP, regardless of whether you succeed.
Well, you could have given me a warning beforehand. Whatever. Did it agree?
Congratulations are in order! The contract was a success!
I don't notice anything different.
The monster you just made the arrangement with doesn't have a name yet. So, why don't you decide what you'd like to call it?
I've got it. From this day forth, I'm going to call you Clotho. Glad to have you on the team, pal. That's strange. It's almost like I can sense what the slime is feeling. Right now, it seems happy.
The two of you are now able to communicate, even without words. In fact, all your servants can converse with each other as well.
That's pretty cool. I guess I'll refer to that as the servant network. Should be a big help in battle. Next, I'll try my hand at summoning. If I used half my MP for the contract, then I should still have 10 points left over. Is that enough to make it work?
For a slime at this level, I believe it is.
Okay. Now, Clotho!
Yeah!
That went smoother than I thought it would. Now it's time for us to take on that job.
You're going to make Clotho murder its own kind? That's ruthless, my lord. Who's the real monster here?
They naturally increase in size after devouring weaker slimes. So it can't be all that terrible, can it? It's okay. You don't have to do it, buddy. All right. You're welcome to absorb any slimes you end up defeating, but you have to leave their cores. We're going to need those to show the guild we finished the job. It's time to use some green magic. Listen, first I'm going to attack one of them using a spell. You take the other one. It's your chance to show me what you can do. Clotho should get a buff from the magic I'm supplying it, meaning it'll be stronger than an ordinary blue slime. And Melfina taught me a few basic green magic spells earlier, so I can deal some damage too. But after making the contract and summoning, I only have enough MP for one shot. Good news is, I have healing items. It may be tough, but we'll make this work.